everybody. I am here at a local park that's near my home. It is Lynndale Park. It is part of the Linwood park system, and it's a wonderful little park. It has a great forest in it, and it's fall. I don't know if you noticed that yet, but it is fall, and I am so excited to be out here. I've been wanting to come back out here for a while now, but I just haven't been able to get out here and find the time, and I decided to do it tonight. Fall is in the air. The leaves are turning colors. They're falling on the ground, and my main goal right now is there's this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous big leaf maple in the middle of this forest. And I want to go take a look at it and see what it's looking like. And I want to be able to get some photos and talk you through some of the things you might want to look for when you're looking at big trees. It's going to be hard to capture the whole thing because it is so huge, but it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm hoping the colors are really gorgeous, and they should be looking around at the park right now. And let's move on down the trail. This is a beautiful tree. Here, let me put some graffiti on it. Why would you demark such gorgeousness as this? Anyways, one of the things I like to do when I'm photographing trees is to walk around, look at angles, see if there's branches I really am attracted to, especially on a tree like this. There's actually several different types of trunks, and looking at the curves of those, which would be really pretty with a little bit of light on them, which we're past having any sunlight on them right at the moment. The sun is not quite set, but it's getting really close. But there's a tumble, if you can easily see the tumble of leaves down on the right-hand side of this tree. I'm really attracted to that tumble. But you want to kind of look for scenes and vignettes. It would be difficult to get this whole tree unless I had a fisheye lens. And that's really not always what I want to do anyways. One of the big things I like to do is get in on the details, like that falling, that little cascade of leaves down there. Get into the details. Sometimes the details help show how immense the tree can be or is. Also, little scenes where sometimes the branch is creating a frame for something behind it. Looking up and checking out what it looks like above, and there might be a really interesting scene image on the other side of the tree, looking up. But having your cell phone with you, you can kind of frame in and zoom in images as you're going around the tree. One, to help you visualize within the square format, and the other is you've got a record. You know, I now have some ideas about this tree that I can take to further seasons and further years. I have a feeling this tree and I are going to become best friends. It is just, I've seen this when it was in full glory of green and wish I had my camera then. And like I said, I've been wanting to come back and photograph it. The other thing I like looking for is, you'll notice on the ground, are a lot of leaves on the ground. Look at your feet. Sometimes you get really interesting venues, and there's a couple of leaves here that are really, really pretty together. And I might go ahead and focus in on those, get an image of that. Leaves as they fall on ferns, and you just spend some time looking at the subject. On the way in, the colors were just absolutely amazing, and I was trying to find some good images on the way in, but one of the problems you always have, especially with the Northwest forest, is that there's so much going on, and trying to separate what you're looking at, the prettiness that you see, from what else is going on, can be difficult. And I had to stop for a little bit to try and find a composition for one image. It just didn't work out. But I'm here at the tree. I'm going to start setting up my camera and getting some compositions, and we'll talk through them when I get something set up. I was thinking I was going to capture this cascade of leaves first, and as I was setting up my camera, I just happened to glance up because I love this branch. And how it sticks straight out. It's a perfect swinging branch, don't you think? Hang a couple swings on that. Of course, I don't get too far on hand. It might be a kind of a bumpy ride, but I absolutely love it. And I just kind of looked up and glanced to see if there might be possibly a composition here. And what I saw was, if I open up my lens all the way, I can throw the color in the background out of focus and just focus in on that branch and one little leaf that's sitting up there. And that's what I did. I went ahead and set up the composition. I kind of like it. You've got some light on top of the branch, and you've got a little bit of light glowing through the leaf that's sitting there, and then the backdrop of the multicolored autumn leaves. Right now, I've got my aperture set up all the way because I want to throw that background out. I focused on the branch and that leaf, and I still may need to, when I put it in Photoshop, blur out that background just a little bit more. But right now, I really like it, and I've got it at, it's about an eighth of a second. So that being an eighth of a second, I've got my camera set on the 2-second timer, so that when I hit the shutter, it'll give it enough time for it not to vibrate or stop vibrating, and then get the image. I'm gonna take a look at that for a second. Oops. What do I always do that for myself? And it's looking pretty good. Like I said, I would probably, when I put it in Photoshop, I'll probably blur out the background just a little bit more. But I really like that color, and I think it might be something. I could probably spend a lot of time on this branch, but I think I'm going to try and set up the image with Cascade, although I do see another little image that could be possible here. Isn't this a pretty little cascade of leaves coming down through between the trunks here? I've got one composition set up. It's pretty much just basic composition. with those leaves. I do have a little bit of background going on the side over here that I might not like very much, but we'll see. I have a feeling I'm going to probably change my composition after I get this one. So bear with me. Again, it's a 2-second timing 2-second shutter delay. It's about f8 because since I do have some distance between where I want it to be in focus, so I want to be in focus pretty much throughout most of the frame. I decided to, whatever. I decided to put it down to about an f8. That's not quite at f8. There's f8. There we go. Okay. And get that image. We do have a little black blinkies, but they're in the cracks, so I don't really care if I have black blinkies. So that means I'm losing some detail on those blacks, but I have a feeling I'm going to want those blacks to be absolute black. I don't want anything there. There's no detail I'm going to want to get in there. They're so small. They're in the cracks of the trunk. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the next shot. And I just said shot. Oh, I hate that word. Anyways, let me set up the next composition and I'll get back to you. I decided to raise my tripod up a bit because I was getting a little bit too much of backgrounds in that image, and I really didn't want too much of that background in the image. I don't mind a little bit because I can deal with that in post. I am, clearly wanting this beautiful cascade of maple leaves. There's a little leaf right over there that I have in my frame, and then I've got some nice big yellow leaves here to help direct your eye up into the rest of the cascade of the image. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this just a little bit, just to, because there we go. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. So again, going down to f.8. Oh no, I wanted to open up a little bit. That's right, because I'm focused here, and this is where my focus is on this cascade. So that will help a little bit throw the background out of focus. And so right now it's going. I'm going to go ahead and take it up to. Oops, wrong one. 5.6, I believe. And that way, let's go ahead and open that a little bit. It'll start with getting what's in the background out of focus, and will stay here. If you notice, my camera is angled this way, and so are the leaves. So my plane of focus is going to be those leaves, and that's one of those things that to look out for. If I was photographing something straight up and down or completely horizontal in my image, I would have some problem with the focus here. But because the leaves are about the same focal plane as my camera, the sensor on my camera is going to be, the leaves will stay mostly in focus, should be in focus, all the way through from the front of the here and the back. Is a little bit different with the other one because they were actually more straight up and down from the plane of the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and get this. Again, 2-second timer, and open it up to 5.6, by the way. And just a few little blinkies. But everything seems to look fine. Oops, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted, and I'm going to change this. I do want to double check my focus on this. It looks good. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Ha! I actually know what I'm talking about. Woohoo! So, let's wow, there's just so much here to photograph, and I'm starting to lose light. Um, I want to go to the other side of the tree, so let's do that. But oh man, there's a root that's up out of the ground that's covered with leaves. There's just so much here. Oh, I love this tree. I love this tree. Now, I'm hoping you can see this. I'm gonna do a little shift of the tripod here and the camera. But you notice as we go up how there's some light folding around and shaping the trunks on these. And then I really like how the darker trunks in the front are kind of framing that middle one that's sticking straight up. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them. I think I need a wider angle lens. But because the sky isn't so bright right now, you can actually see color against the sky. May not be able to, like I said, I think I need a wider angle lens for that. But look how gorgeous this is up here. Oh my gosh. So this is what I was kind of looking at on this side. And we still have that beautiful, beautiful branch that just kind of sticks out here, right? And there's, ooh, that could be something right over there. Right over there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks pretty cool to me, right there. That looks pretty cool. We'll see. Because I do have time to deal with. So I'm going to go get my camera, get it set up, and get back to you. All right, I think I got my composition set up. I am looking at starting from pretty much about a couple of feet up and then going farther up. I'm probably going to try and get the leaves here soon with the next image, but this one's going to be a while. You notice I needed to get the tripod up and even further up, so I had to extend the center post. Don't always like extending the center post because it makes the tripod pretty wobbly. So to counteract that, I put my timer on my shutter to 10 seconds, so that after I press the shutter, it'll take 10 seconds before the shutter goes, and should be enough to calm everything down. Gosh, sure, but it always makes me worry because did I or did I not push the shutter? I did push the shutter. Now it's at 2.5 seconds because it's very dark over here, and oh, I think I'm liking this. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, yeah. I think I'm happy right now. This is good. That's going to be pretty. That one's going to be a pretty one. Now, the other thing I'm going to do, I just got to do it. I just going to go as wide as I can on my lens, which on this one is, so it's a crop sensor. It's about 18, so it's basically 24. I usually don't deal with that, well, what's it equivalent to? Because it really doesn't matter. You have what you have. And if you're If you're able to capture what you want to capture with what you have, then you're doing good. If you aren't able to capture what you want to capture with what you have, then you got a problem. Okay, so we're going to, oh, kind of would help if I did that first. Okie dokie. And open this up as far as it goes. There we go. You know, I could even bring this down. I really don't need to have this up at all. I do kind of want it up because I gotta see. But there we go. Okay, so we need to bring this down so we get color in the sky, and we'll also get color in the leaves, because so what's happening right now on the horizon is we've got a glow going. And there's a lot of clouds over there, and I can see this beautiful yellow glow, golden glow through the trees. Well, that glow is still shining on the forest. And so the upper branches, the leaves are still glowing in that light. So that's what I'm trying to capture right now. And I may actually like it better as a vertical. So let me do some more readjusting and see what we got here, because this is, I kind of like having the trunks here to give me some base. Do there. I think that's okay. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit because, and this back up a little bit this way, and it's going to look crooked in the image, but I like that because this tree is so powerful. So if you put something crooked in an image, it creates sort of a vibrance, this sort of vitality, this idea of motion, this idea of tension, and that's what I really want to be able to do with this beautiful, beautiful tree, because it is so freaking gorgeous. Bring it down just a little bit, tighten that one up, and I can go back to 2-second timer, because that 10-second timer really bothers me because I don't know if I actually pushed the button or not. And I am going to go ahead and get this. So the very top of the image is going to be how this blue, because it's going to be twilight soon. And then, or it's going to be, it's going to be twilight soon. But then there's this beautiful creamy color down lower, and then we get into the great shadows. And let's see, I do want to take a look at my histogram on this, because I want to make sure I can pull out detail in the trunks. So okay, I'm going to need to do another exposure, and I'm going to have to lighten it up because I'm going to have to do an exposure blend. I'm not going to be able to pull enough detail out of those trunks, but everything else right now is absolutely perfect. So let me go ahead and brighten this up, and there we go. And I'm going to be losing all the detail in the sky right now because of the long exposure. But that's okay, because I have that exposure where all that detail in the sky is there. So what I'll do in the computer is take the image that I photographed with the trunks and the image I photographed with the sky and the leaves, put them together, and it's going to come out beautiful. And with that seemed kind of cool, and I think I'm going to try and capture that. So I'm going to go ahead and frame that up. I may not talk you through it, or I may. We'll see in a minute. as you can see, it's starting to get really dark, and as you probably figured, since we're walking, that composition didn't pan out yet. I'm saying yet because there is a composition there. What I am looking at, and when I was framing up the composition, is a lot of dark right now of this subject, which were the beautiful, beautiful leaves and that, and those branches, and that branch that was curving down. I was getting a lot of bright light from the sky behind it, which is not what I want. I can either do one of two things: wait till a foggy day, come back, and hopefully it's a long foggy day because there are so many images here that would be wonderful in the fog. So come back in a nice foggy day, or wait till there's sunlight on that, which could happen this weekend, in fact. We are expecting to have some good days. I am wanting to go up to one of the state parks and do a revisit of the state park on Sunday. Oh, there's a little bunny that just hopped right across the trail. Hi, little bunny. Hi, Bun Bun. And so, but I could always stop by here on the way home, right? So, as always, had to stop and think, what am I talking about? As always, thank you for watching. If you are interested in my channel, gosh, it's really gotten dark. Sorry about that. It's probably really dark for you to see me. But if you're interested in my channel, please subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications when new videos come up. And give this video a like. Because if that tree was gorgeous, that tree deserves your like. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.